Hi everyone, I'm Daisy Rocha and this is what's happening in Brazil. We start by updating you on the latest news from the country. The federal police revealed that a parallel intelligence agency operated under former President Jair Bolsonaro's government. Authorities executed search and seizure warrants to investigate officials' illegal use of the first-mile intelligence system developed by Israel. Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes lifted confidentiality, expressing a list of spy-on authorities, parliamentarians, and journalists, including himself. President Lula criticized the attack on Donald Trump's rally in the United States. We have to condemn any anti-democratic demonstration that takes place anywhere in the world, whether on the right or on the left. That is, nobody has the right to shoot someone because they don't agree with them politically, he said. This was the second time that Lula has commented on the episode. As recently as Saturday, Lula had spoken out on social media. What we have seen today is unacceptable, he said then. Brazil has recalled its ambassador to Argentina, Julio Vitelli, to discuss the direction of the relationship between the countries. The ambassador was summoned following Milei's visit to the country for a far-right event. During his visit, Milei attacked Lula and met with Bolsonaro. A meeting between the leaders at Mercosur summit was cancelled after Milei decided to return to Argentina. At least 2 Guarani Kaiowá Indigenous people were shot in attacks by men in pickup trucks in different areas of Mato Grosso do Sul. The attacks took place after ancestral territories that had already been demarcated but whose demarcation had stalled were retaken by indigenous people this weekend. In today's story of the week, we explain the harvest plan for family farming. On the one hand, the federal government is celebrating the launch of the biggest ever plan in history. On the other, social movements in the countryside are pointing out the advances and limits of the program.
The biggest ever harvest plan in history. That's how the federal government classified the Family Farming Harvest Plan 2024, announced in early July. At all, there will be $15 billion in credits and investments, an increase of 10% compared to 2023. But this figure doesn't impress social movements in the countryside, as they are far from the amount released to agribusiness on the same day, over $73.4 billion.
Plano Safra que ainda...
Compared to the harvest plan aimed at corporate agriculture, the Family Farming Harvest Plan is 4 times smaller in terms of resources. It prioritizes agribusiness to the detriment of small farmers, who are the majority of those growing food in the Brazilian countryside. We have made progress compared to previous years. In fact, this is the biggest ever harvest plan aimed at family farming.
The plan includes lower interest rates for loans to the sector and special rates for food production, especially organic and agroecological production. Microcredits for women and young people were also announced, as well as incentives for cooperatives. According to the government, the program is the result of the direct participation of rural workers' movements. In working groups, they presented proposals to be adopted by the project. However, not everything was accepted.
Conferences, working groups, dialogue tables, they are all important, but they end up not becoming a reality. Many proposals end up getting lost in the state bureaucracy and therefore are far from becoming state policies. I see it as a difficulty. The government says it's open to listening, but it doesn't do so.
Another problem pointed out by the organizations is the difficulty rural populations have accessing the credits that will be made available through PRONAF, the National Program for Strengthening Family Farming. Even after the official announcement, rural organizations have been talking to the government about simplifying credit access for small farmers.
We presented a set of proposals to the government to simplify PRONAF. That is, a set of criteria and rules that would simplify PRONAF so that people could access it. Whether it's PRONAF, so-called Line A, Line D, or Line C, there should be a way in PRONAF through which families could access credit easily, both for food production and for acquiring appropriate machinery for food production. And that would encourage the supply process again. So it would be a credit via PRONAF that would be easier to access and aimed at all food producers. That would take into account combating hunger and building a national supply policy to combat food inflation.
For Federal Deputy Valmir Assunção, political agents need to make an effort to ensure that the funds reach rural workers.
Tanto os parlamentares como o governo.
Both congressmen and the federal government should talk more about the harvest plan, put it out there to society so that small farmer families can understand that they have the right to access these resources, to produce with more quality and raise their families' income.
On this week's Culture Talk, you will visit with us the Expressão Popular bookstore. Housed here in the same building as Brasil de Fato in São Paulo, it is a national reference in left-wing works.
With the newly opened store in the Campos Elíseos neighborhood, downtown São Paulo, the Expressão Popular Publishing House is celebrating its 25th anniversary with a wide range of works and partnerships with other publishers.
A gente tem parceria hoje com cerca de 30 editores.
Today, we have partnerships with around 30 publishers. Our goal is to have a catalog that complements Expressãos. We understand that our books still need partners who can collaborate, in line with our political project and landless rural workers movement. We are bringing these partners so that we become a reference bookstore in the humanities.
Expressão Popular publishes books in 4 thematic groups: agroecology, socialist pedagogy, the classics of Marxism, and contemporary class struggles. One of its aims is to build bridges between the teachings of the classics and current social struggles.
Com essas mudanças
With the changes in the logic of capital, whether in financial accumulation or the political forms we see today, this wave of neo-fascist right, we also have to keep up to date on how we look to the classics so that we can learn and not reproduce what they say.
Since 2010, Abolição Street in the Bexiga neighborhood has been Expressão's house. Now, the new space has been integrated with the Armazém do Campo, which sells agrarian reform products. It is also a meeting point for training and cultural events.
Essa coisa realmente de integrar.
The idea of integrating 3 areas, the bookstore, the warehouse, and the restaurant, which is open on Saturdays, is a very good idea.
The publisher's diverse catalog also attracts readers to the book club, which was created in 2017 to encourage the study and training of the working class.
Grande feito da editora.
The publisher outstanding achievement is releasing 1 book a month, whether it's literature, poetry, a scientific or philosophical book. A wide variety of books reissued out of print works. So I'm a loyal reader and member of the book club.
O Clube do Livro vem muito nesse sentido.
The book club thinks this way, considering that our editorial board and our editorial line are concerned with books that are also training tools for the struggle. We ask ourselves, what books the Expressão Popular editorial board, made up of activists from grassroots movements, would recommend to other activists?
In search for an up-to-date view of the conflict between Israel and Hamas, Ronaldo bought the book Against Zionism, Portrait of a Colonial and Racist Doctrine by Breno Altman, published by Alameda, one of Expressão's partners.
Generally, these books aren't published by other publishing houses. They aren't interested. Even commercially speaking, there are no editorial interests either. I think that Expressão Popular is a publisher that resists bravely.
Its location in downtown São Paulo is crucial at a time when the area is targeted by gentrification and real estate speculation.
Então, sim, ocupar, estar presente.
So, yes, occupy, be present. The city is safer when we move around it. Opening a commercial space is strategic so that more people are on the streets and at the bus stop, which is literally in front of our facade. And we also value it as an economic development as well. It's a place of resistance.
Did you like the show? So hit the like button and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive notifications. We will see you next week.